seeing Jackie and Margaret go to town like this, oh my God.
Girl, where is the popcorn? Okay.
I did not have that on my bingo card.
Virtual reality. Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And we're back at the softball game that Dolores, it feels like a warm hug when you see Dolores and the crew on the softball field. Evan, I don't know if you feel that same way about it. It does make me happy.
It makes me so happy, and it does feel like a warm hug for the most part, but what doesn't make me happy, and we know this has been brewing for a while, and finally we saw it take place right in front of our eyes, Danny, the beginning of the end of Margaret and Jackie.
You don't take my side in anything.
Jackie, my whole life I've taken your side. What have you ever done for me?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
Which it was so fast, so furious, so explosive. I was like, oh my God, wait, are we watching the show on fast forward? Like, how did we get from here to there? How are you processing it? What do you remember?
I know it was all a blur. I know. I was like, did we skip a few episodes? It's given a little Ariana Grande, we can't be friends, wait for your love. Because I feel there is still like star-crossed between them because they've had such a bond since they both came on the show. And we've seen them ride for each other between, the throwing the red wine at Danielle, the hair pull, the Margaret facilitating the sit down between Jackie and Teresa that went off the rails. Like they really have been by each other's side, but present day, not so much because they walk into that dugout. And I think a lot of it, that's the thing, we don't really know where it kicks off, but Danielle Cabral's party is hitting quite the nerve.
Yeah, Jackie did not get an invite to the party for Nate to celebrate the anniversary of his surgery. And yeah, like you said, Danny, that really did hit a nerve. But I feel like Jackie and Danielle were always just like not vibing with each other. So I think for Danielle, she was like, why would I invite Jackie? Jackie, on the other hand, is like, there's so many events. There's so many times where Melissa and Teresa or this girl or that girl are in the same place.
True.
Yes, don't get along. Why can't I just get an invite down to the shore? And so she said something. What did she say out loud to Jen Aiden?
Oh, when because Jackie was like, hey, Jen, how are you? And Danielle, or because like Danielle's like, how'd she get invited to the biscuit party? Which we'll get into the biscuit party.
Oh.
Who invited you to Jen's puppy party?
I'm friends with Jen.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. The only person I'm not friends with is you.
And Jackie, to her credit, did do an amazing thing where she's like, no, I'm actually friends with everybody besides you, Danielle.
I know. I did appreciate that. She was very, very blunt. And I feel like Jackie is in this blunt new era. I mean, she said on her Instagram that she is in her empowerment era. I feel like
Fessler might be vaping. Jackie's blunt. Jackie's blunting.
She is, yeah, she is being very blunt. And the way she was explaining is like she wrote her book, The Way to Beautiful, or her memoir. And basically after she wrote it, she had some sort of epiphany where she felt like she no longer needed to center Margaret Josephs in her life.
For a long time, I've been letting Margaret feel like she was here and I was under her. Writing changed me as a person. I've become much more confident. So you are not the centerpiece of my life.
And they got into their argument after she felt like Margaret didn't take her side when she mentioned that it wasn't nice that she wasn't invited to Danielle's party, but Margaret simply sort of explained, like, you haven't been friends with Danielle for a while. Why would you be invited? I don't know. But I guess because, as you were mentioning, Danny, like they have had a history where they have ridden so hard for each other. So in the moment, Jackie probably felt like, okay, like, can you just like defend me in this instance and tell Danielle like, oh yeah, like you should have invited her. It wouldn't have been that big.
I feel it's kind of that hard thing. And I think people thought or expected this to be what's going to happen this season of Jersey, where everyone's like, because everyone's friends with someone doesn't want them to be friends with.
Right.
So like Margaret is to Danielle that Jackie is to Teresa. Because Jackie's like, defend me against Danielle, Margaret. And Margaret's like, don't be friends with Teresa, Jackie. So it's kind of like no one is on the same page. And speaking of pages, Margaret's not even reading a single page of The Way to Beautiful because she's waiting for the book to be sent.
Margaret didn't get an early copy and she seemed a little upset about that. But Jackie was explaining that she only sent copies of the book to people who were doing press, like Melissa. She went on Melissa's podcast to talk about the book, which was interesting because she and Melissa, it's not like they're fighting on screen right now, but they're definitely not, we don't see any signs of vibing.
Zero vibing. Like I don't even know if they've talked.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of the recipients of an early copy of the book because I did do an interview with Jackie about the book, and that was a really nice experience. So I don't know, maybe if Margaret had offered to do an interview on her podcast, I think she and Lexi have a podcast. Maybe she would have gotten an early copy. I don't know, like if you were friends with like Danny, if you were writing a book
Mhm.
and your best friend who possibly championed you to get that book deal or championed you writing a book or was very supportive, would you send them an early copy of the book or would you like what how would you play
You know
that?
what's interesting? I feel like I would send it to people who I would send it to people who ask for it. Because I don't want you to be like, I would want my friends who champion me kind of like because I would want them to be like, oh, I really want to read the book. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited for you. Can I get a copy? And I'd be like, I really shouldn't do this. Simon, we got to send another one. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to go around like, hey, everybody read my book like that I'm friends with. I'd be doing that to people that I'm trying to sell it for. But yeah, you know?
Right. And like I guess you want those pre-orders. So
Oh, the way I would be like, Amazon.com/ yeah. Or I'd be like, I'll just give it to you if you buy also.
it would
It's a
be
BOGO, but you have to buy one.
right. It would be interesting to know if Margaret did request one, like you said, like, hey, I really want to read it because it seemed like she was just really upset by that. But then the conversation it became so convoluted because it was like about Danielle, then it was about the book, then it was, Jackie did say, I don't feel like you've supported me for years, which, I was a little taken aback by, like maybe there's something we're missing because just from what we've seen on the show, I feel like it's been pretty reciprocal, like their support
I thought
for
so.
each other. So I don't know. I mean, look, like they did our very first live show, like it feels like eons ago. And it's just when you saw the bond and the friendship in person, it was very palpable. I mean, like really like very sister-like.
And
So it's sad.
it's sad. And also it's kind of even more full circle because I think they were bonding over kind of shading Danielle Cabral at that live show.
Yes. Yes, they were. And now Margaret's besties with Danielle and
But
Jackie.
here's also what's interesting because when they get on the field, Jen Aiden was kind of having the power with like Teresa, Fess, and Jackie. It's like, so what was going on with Marge? And Jackie kind of was like downplaying. She's like, it's really not a big deal. I don't want to get into it too much. I just don't want people telling me who not to be friends with.
Can I ask what the hell all that was about?
Wait, what happened?
They were going at it.
No, but it's not like a fight that's gonna last.
No,
But
I
it's
know.
no, it's not like that. But also, like, I don't feel like I have to not be friends with anybody because of anyone else wanting me not to be friends with anyone.
She's like talking about me. It's not right.
So I think there was parts of Jackie where she came in hot, but also wasn't completely calling it Finn with Marge. You know what I mean?
Right. Like she was leaving the door open for some potential resolution, but she did come in very hot to Marge's face. Like I was very surprised because I mean, we've seen Jackie pop off on others before. Like she clearly
You get that confidence in jail.
right. Like she has it.
And the Dolores fight where I literally thought she was gonna, and we love all of our Jersey girls, but when Jackie said Dolores doesn't know who she's messing with, I was like, Jackie, no, I don't know if you know who. We don't. I got scared.
We don't want Patterson Dolores to pop off. No, let's not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's interesting because the conversations that she was having, the little powwow that she had with Jen Aiden and Teresa, that felt very much like, okay, I don't want to like talk too much smack just yet where it's like irreparable. However, the way she was speaking to her in the dugout or the locker room or whatever that is, sorry, I don't really know sports, that felt like very Finn to me.
Very, very Finn. And I feel, we know it's Finn now. And I also, I feel a lot of people might have gotten texts from Marge after the biscuit birthday scene when Teresa called Margaret a dog and no one really like stepped in.
I invited Margaret too, because this was a dog party. I didn't want Margaret to hear about it and be offended that I didn't invite her.
What dog was Joe Benigo gonna bring? Margaret or his real dog?
And I knew where Teresa was going with it. She couldn't land the plane exactly. I'm all for shade, but like it was a little misconjobulated.
Do you know what I think? I think she was trying to make a dog joke to possibly get back at Marge for the dog joke she made about Danielle Cabral in relation to Teresa at our live show before anyone knew who Danielle was.
Yes.
That got a lot of attention because she called Danielle Teresa's new lapdog. And I feel like she thought,
And then-
oh, I'm going to one up Marge. I'm going to call her a dog. But then she was like, if Joe came to the party, would he bring his real dog or Margaret? And it's not
And
like,
I was like, no, Joe wasn't invited.
Joe would have never gotten the invite. It would have been Marge is invited. Joe's the +1. And if they like to bring their pooch, they can.
Bella. Wait, does Teresa and Margaret's dog have the same name?
I think they might. Yeah, because
Both
Teresa
named
spotted Bella. Oh, that's weird.
That is very weird. Never forget. No, because Jackie is the one who called Danielle the lapdog, and then Marge goes, "Yeah, she's a rescue." And I love rescue. So, and I love Danielle Cabral. So,
Wait, do you know who I love? I love, and I know I've talked about this before, and I feel like you feel the same way. I love Olivia Aiden so much with all my heart and my soul. Like, she is the most iconic person to ever grace the Real Housewives of New Jersey. The way she was talking about a lady dog is a bitch is a lady dog. It felt like the beginnings of writing the next Housewives hit pop single. Like, it was so good. Someone needs to do a remix.
Bitch apparently means lady dog, and Biscuit's a lady dog. She's now a lady because she's 1 year old. She's a bitch. Lady dog. Bitch. Lady dog. Biscuit's my bitch.
she is destined for stardom. I know some DJ needs to. I don't know, like John Summit. I think that's an EDM person. Gots to get in the studio with Olivia ASAP.
Like, we need to see her at Coachella.
Please.
With Biscuit, a bitch is a lady dog. Like, can you just imagine? Speaking of Biscuit, like the way she won the pageant because Olivia made it happen. Like, Olivia just honestly, like, I can't wait for another like 30 years and she's on some Housewives reboot something.
Oh.
To plan a pageant for your dog, invite Teresa and Gia and all the girls, make sure that your dog wins, come up on the spot with a lady dog is a bitch is a lady dog song. I don't know. I just can't say enough good things about her.
It's star power. And I'm also glad that was, because we were talking a little bit, like, we haven't seen a lot of Jennifer Aiden this season so far. So I'm glad our first full-on situation with her, we had an Olivia moment, we had a beautiful dog moment, but we also had a kind of a cringe moment.
Okay.
It was a little we read the coffee mugs, and it's sort of cringe and camp at the same time, if you will, because I think Jennifer Aiden, she heard what everyone had to say about the Turkish coffee endorsements of last season when they say, like, that is so planted, and she said, "Oh, you thought that was planted? Well, let me bring out my Aero Garden. Let me bring out the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens and the Bronx Botanical Gardens in the shape of Lisa, the hairdresser."
I think Lena. Put some respect on her name, Lena, because she was there.
Lena Dunham from Girls. She's doing hair now, guys.
Lena was there to do the work. Because it was just so funny how fast they got into it. Like, it was, why isn't Danielle here? Oh, she's in the Dominican. Oh, speaking of Danielle, this is Lena, the hairdresser who she fucked over at our Housewife to Housewife event at some casino.
Lena knows Danielle very well, right?
I don't know her on a personal level. I just, the incident.
And who even knows? A Starland Ballroom, where I used to actually go see shows from bands on MySpace back in the day. So, like, Jersey through and through.
Oh, wait, so what's the vibe there? Where is it?
Middle of Jersey, Central Jersey. I'm sure it upgraded since 2007. I'll give that credit. It's actually nice, but kind of just like a concert, like a raised-ish stage with a lot of like folding chairs.
Okay, so that sounds like a place where you could have a nice Housewives event.
And also, I think Jen Aiden got her BravoCon mixed up because that's what Housewife to Housewife is. This was Party Like a Housewife.
Party Like a Housewife. No, okay, so I might have gotten that mix up.
No, because Jennifer Aiden said it on it too, and I was like, she's thinking BravoCon because that's what they call all the panels there.
Oh, okay. So explain this to me, Danny, because I was really confused. She said hairdresser. There was some tension. I assumed it was that she did the hair and then didn't pay for it, but it wasn't that. It was about a VIP ticket.
So, like, I think a free hair situation happened because she opened up the salon for that event that night. So I think Lena did Danielle's hair for that night. And I guess the Lena probably was like, we're all going to this party. Boom, 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 boom. Have some champs. Let's go. Cut to the Get to Starling ballroom, my pride and joy. And they're like having a little like VIP section in the back. I'm sure like some salami, mozzarella. And everyone has the VIP bracelets besides Lena. So then security goes, gotta go. And Lena's like, no, I'm HMU. Like, so HMU, the host, to let me know. And apparently Danielle just not help her, allegedly. And she got kicked out of VIP.
There must have been some like miscommunication because, you and I have hung out with Danielle. She's done our live show before. She seems like a cool, I just can't imagine her doing that unless she didn't like the hair. Maybe she didn't like the hair.
That's because her hair person, her current one, came to when she did the press day, and she shouted her out as her favorite girl. So like when she loves her hair, she loves her hair, and her hair in this episode was looking amazing. So yeah, I want to know. I feel
we got to see what her hair was looking like the night of her housewife party, like a housewife, because then that might be very indicative of what happened with Lena.
Could you imagine? And also that she'd be like, "You're lucky. You're lucky. This is all that's happening to you."
Right. Well, it's so funny that there was drama around Danielle's hair because then there was the scene where she was in the kitchen with Nate. I'm not even sure talking about what, because all I was focused on was how amazing her hair looked. That pin straight, bright blonde. It looked so healthy, shiny, like a Garnier commercial. Like, oh, so good. And with
Stunning.
the tan,
I know. She really is. This is what I love, that it's like we're filming towards like kind of the end of summer because all of them have both their spray tan and the natural tan going. And it's just like chef's kiss all around. The girls are looking great.
So peak Jersey. Oh, I love it. Wait, okay. So we do have to shout out. There were some nice Gorga moments in this episode, like sending Antonia off to college. Very sweet. It was really very touching to me to see Joe Gorga cry. Like I know
he was emotional.
Yes, he was very emotional. I feel like poor Antonia was like, okay, guys, like let's wrap this up. She was like walking away with her mic pack visibly in her t-shirt. Like, can we just like film the scene and like let me go be with JC and meet the boys? And
it also made, because I forgot a lot of my friends at this freshman year where they would like get paired up with, when you found out your roommate, they'd be like, should we coordinate our sides of the dorm together? And I mean, I didn't do that, but I know a lot of people do that. And I'm like, oh, that is exactly what happened here.
Their dorms looked so amazing, the neon lights. And I love that just from what I could see. I'm not saying that JC and Antonia didn't put in any work, but it felt like they were possibly delegating and just sort of overseeing the project.
Which also, that's how I move present day. So I if you could hack that code on your own at 19 or 18, chef's kiss to you.
I was so jealous because I remember when I moved into my dorms, it was hectic, it was chaotic, it was annoying. I wanted no part of it. I didn't care to figure out how we were gonna split the shower supplies and all. Like I just not for me. But it seems like Antonia and JC really did figure it out. And I feel like from what I remember, I think there was some sort of collab situation with like the decorations and all that, which also was not available to me. And
I thought, because like, doesn't she like kind of have like a partnership with University of Delaware itself?
Yeah, I think so. And didn't they want her to be like the head of social media or something? Remember that was a thing too?
I do remember that. I'm like, you know what? Shout out if you can.
Antonia, she's doing college, right?
She really is. Also, I'm like looking at photos of Danielle's hair, and I think she does look good at the thing. So we have to really unpack what's going on.
Wait, can you? I don't have the photo in front of me, Danny. I just need you to describe what's happening with the hair, what Lena did.
I think it's because I think you'll like it too. A high pony.
Oh, I love a high pony.
High pony and she's wearing like this like short dress, kind of metallic-y type situation. And I think she did like it because correct me if I'm wrong, Cabral, she used the photo of it for the premiere party she threw for herself this year, or she threw this year.
Oh, interesting. Okay. But do you know what? Okay, you say a high pony, it's pretty snatched, right? It's snatched back.
Yeah.
When it's that snatched, I don't know how, maybe it affects your thinking.
That's true.
And so maybe she had a headache. Maybe things were a little foggy, a little blurry, because I've never had a ponytail, but I can imagine when it's that snatched and beautiful, beauty is pain. So maybe she just wasn't thinking clearly, and she was like, wait, Who's Lena? What?
That's
She's like, I just
worse.
need to get on stage.
Yeah, and it's her first. It was her first big event, and she probably was like, "I have like my new friends Teresa, Jen, and Dolores here. Like, I just want to keep it right." And maybe she's afraid of authority. Like, if a security guard told me like that person shouldn't be there, I'd be like, "Whatever you think is best." I don't know.
That's your call, man. Like, what
I gotta do. But we also do want to shout out Sweet Gorga moments, iconic new Dolores confessional moment too. I don't know if it's you, but the way mermaid.
Yes, she looked so good. Dolores is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful people on the planet. Like every time she's on screen, I audibly gasp for the most part. And this confessional, Danny, like we were texting each other during the episode because it was like just like that. Like blue is her color, a side part is her moment, a wave is like everything was like working so well for her. I mean, she's always kind of working it, but this was just outstanding.
Wait, you know what? I don't know why this made me think of that because it is outstanding. Oh, because you were talking about Gorga's kids. I love future housewife Gia. I wonder, did her and Jackie, I know it sounds so weird to ask if a 23-year-old and a 40-something-year-old squashed their beef, but did they clear the air after the whole thing? Because I know Jackie, you know?
I think they must have. I feel like we got to look back because I feel like Gia and Jackie have both spoken about this. We got to do some Googling, but yes, I do believe that they did. I mean, apparently they have because they were able to sit together at Biscuit's birthday party and chat with each other. But, you know, like you were saying, future housewife Gia, she was made for this. The way that she shut Jen Fessler down, like they were both 53 years old. She was like, "We will not be talking about my uncle today." No, ma'am. That's not. And Fessler, like, I love her for this. She was just like, "Whatever you say." Like, yes, Gia. You're right, Gia.
People are saying hateful, disgusting things to each other that they wouldn't otherwise. And so much of this, and I'm really not going here, goes back to you and your brother. And then it's like, I think it's, no, I'm not talking about it. I don't, believe me, I'm not talking about it.
She's throwing muffins everywhere again in a panic. She's like, what can I throw? Biscuits, go eat this. I don't know what to do. No, I do love how Gia always has her mom's back because it's really good. And also because I was kind of shocked even Dolores was like, oh, John and Louis can talk at my base at the softball game. And Teresa and Gia were like, can we not have it be like a spectacle? Which I get. Like, can they do their thing with their own time?
Right, and then I guess that conversation will happen at a later date because it did not happen at the softball game. I don't think that would have been a safe place for it to happen with like balls and bats and this and that. Like no, we don't need any weapons around.
We do not need any blessed thing at all. I also do. I love Gia and her boyfriend. I'm like, she's too young to be married yet, guys. Stop pushing her.
Yeah, stop pushing her. Although I do think Gia is kind of one of those people that was forced to grow up fast, and I feel like she is wise beyond her years. It's kind of like those situations where, like, I don't know, Millie Bobby Brown,
that's actually true.
She just got married. You know, I think about like Hilary Duff had a baby when she was 23. Sophia Grace from the Ellen Show had a baby when she was 18 or something. Like, I feel like when you feel like you have lived so much life, it seems like a wedding, and it's like, what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna get married and or have a baby. But Gia was like, not just yet. Although I do think that, you know, she did say he was part of the family. They've been together for 5 years. Like, it seems to be really serious. I bet an engagement might come like, I don't know, 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
You know, right? Like, that's not too crazy.
No, that's actually not crazy because she's 23. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
And they can draw it out. Like, they can make it a really long engagement.
Oh my, that's gonna be such. I mean, don't invite Ramona unless you want the wedding details to be hacked or shared, Gia. Yeah. Gia knows. I don't think Gia and Ramona are close, so they don't have. Maybe I don't know if you can invite Avery. I don't know.
Well, Gia and Gia put Fessler in her place. Fessler, she sat down with Rachel Fuda at the beginning of the episode, and that you know, I feel like I don't know, how would you describe it, Danny? Like they found resolution. It ended with Fessler attacking Rachel Fuda with kisses, which I love. Like, to be attacked with kisses from Fess, like, oh, I'll take it. Come on. Oh, of course. But yeah, I don't think there's any kisses happening in my life. So,
because I do love when Jen's like, I hate seeing you cry, but why are you crying? Like,
I hate to see you cry, honey.
I can't stop lately. They're like freaking faucets.
To be really honest with you, I don't really get it.
I think it's also, even Fessler brought up where she's like, she's 30, like she was saying, I had like, she's like 32, she clings on to all this stuff, and Fessler's like, I'm not, and I don't need this bullshit. Like, she kind of is just like, let me just do me, you do you. I'm gonna support you, but I'm gonna support you in the way I know how.
Yeah, and I think that's so real. Like at 32 and 53 or whatever their ages are, I can imagine that the way you process or compartmentalize drama is so different, because I think Fessler is coming from the perspective of, I've been through situations like this, and I know that at the end of the day, it's not gonna matter. But I think, in Rachel's defense in this situation, it's hard to see what you don't know.
The bigger picture.
She hasn't experienced what Fessler has, so it's still very serious to her, and understandably so, because the allegations that the private investigator. And then also, speaking of Fessler, we do have to acknowledge she just gave an interview to Bryce Sander over at Entertainment Tonight talking about Fuda and Margaret and all this stuff. She did say, she clarified that she does believe that Louis did call Margaret's son.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see
the reaction of that.
The reaction from Teresa, because I don't think that's going to sit well with Teresa. So it'll be interesting to see if Jen Fessler and Teresa are able to hold on to this friendship.
Well, also, I do feel like, to Fessler's point, and I feel you say that you would act like her a lot this season, because when she was saying to Marge, she's like, if someone's nice to me, I'm going to be nice back to them. Which,
honey, if people are nice to me, I'm nice to them back.
When she said that, I was like, I get it. Like, I get it that you just want someone saying hi to you. You don't want to give them a cold shoulder for no reason.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you're nice to my face, like, I'm going to be nice to you. Like, if you're like being sweet and kind and warm to me, the natural reaction is for me to be sweet, kind, and warm to you. But I can literally hear Rachel and Margaret behind my back saying, yeah, well, are you going to be sweet, kind, and warm to someone who's trying to take down your family? So I get it. I get both sides. And that's why we love watching The Real Housewives.
And also, I love watching with you because I'm just a bitch. So if I don't like someone, I don't.
You're just a lady dog, baby. That's it. You're a lady dog. A bitch is a lady dog. Back to bitch.
Those fucking cookies look good.
Oh, the cookies did look really good. They looked really, really good. I would love a bitch lady dog cookie right about now, actually.
Deeply. We didn't see what food is going to be eaten next week, but I'm assuming because it's the ladies of New Jersey, they're going to start fighting before the appetizers course. But we don't know what this setting is. Why are Rachel and Teresa next to each other?
I don't know why Rachel and Teresa are next to each other. It also seems Melissa is at the same table as Teresa. So again, I am confused. We are happy to get another, I think what appears to be another all cast scene. I just, knowing what we knew about this season going into it, I didn't think we were going to get so many in a row, but I'm excited to see what happens or what forces or prompts Rachel Fuda to tell Teresa she's a has-been, which we all thought that was John Fuda's line, but apparently, is it the chicken or the, you know what I mean? Like, who came up with it first? It's a very, very bold thing to say. She called her a has-been, and she also, I think that Teresa called her young, or like a young and dumb, and then she called her old and dumb. Is that what she said?
I think so.
Okay.
A lot of things get thrown. Wait, but can I say, speaking of all cast, I do say a beautiful moment. I do like that, even though the divide between the grown-ups, I do like how the Gorgas and the Judices, the kids are all like, I was like, that's the Jersey Sweet moments where like Teresa and little Joe are talking, hugging, asking about each other and stuff like that. It makes me happy because I think the overall thing that I always feel like with Jersey, and Melissa even kind of brings this up next week, the preview with like when she's like, I would give anything to have my dad back. And Danielle's talking about the fight, where I'm like, I'm glad the kids are still having the moments and the memories with the family.
Yeah, that's really, really sweet. It was nice to see Gia and Joey go in for a hug. It was nice to see Melissa encourage Joey to go give Zia Teresa a kiss. So at least the cousins are cool, or so we hope. Although I know Melissa said that she hasn't reached out to Melania because, like she said, no one's talking currently because it's that bad. So I guess things have gotten worse since then.
I'm like, why was She was talking to Billy Bush on the top of the Empire State Building about. I was like, what is happening in this?
I know. Yeah, that was. She looked great though. She was glowing. The lighting was so nice.
She was the light of the Empire State Building that day. It's every day it's a different color. That it was Melissa Gorga.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I can't believe that we made it through another episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. The girls are truly they are delivering.
They are delivering, and I think they won the softball game. So shout out to them too.
Congratulations, ladies.